Most real estate agents missed the mark in 2023, and they're probably going to miss it again in 2024 if they can't figure out how to scale and leverage. Hey, look, I'm Colton Lindsay, and in this video, I'm going to share with you what scale and leverage is and the two most important assets that I have in my business to ultimately create business freedom. Because what we've seen over and over again in real estate is that agents work their asses off, but they never actually get freedom. And there's really two types of agent. Agent one is that they're always playing not to lose, and they're just trying to scrape by, and they're stuck with cash flow. Agent number two is they're always stuck playing to win, and they might be making great money, however, at the expense of the peaceful freedom that you're actually after. And I'm going to share with you in this video the two assets that I absolutely must have in my business to create leverage and how you can as well. I'm going to go through my top three of each of these assets that you can utilize immediately to ultimately have more income in your business consistently by working fewer hours and have more freedom. And that really means to you, you're spending more time being creative and doing the things that interest you. So the two different assets are, number one is what's called technology assets, and the other is number two, which is called human assets. Now, before we dive into the different types of technology asset and human asset, I want to be really clear what an asset does is it follows a system, and a system is a repeatable pattern that creates a predictable result. What is the result that I'm after? When you look at what an asset is, it puts money into your pocket. So I want you to consider that these two assets are most important in being able to scale and leverage your business as an agent infopreneur or an agent attraction. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at the top three technology assets that I personally use that allow me to make multiple seven figures, but really, more importantly, spend more time with my family, such as skiing on the slopes 40 plus days a year and working when I want to, not because I have to. So the top three, number one is what is called Go High Level. I'm not sure if you've heard of this before, but in a nutshell, it's a follow-up system and a lead management program. It's very tailored towards infopreneurs, and it allows me to create systems that follow up with people automatically so that I don't have to remember to. Now, I had to build out what that looked like, but this sequence is so important because there's a couple of things in my business called marketing and sales. Now, specifically in my sales part of my business, I want to increase my show-up rate and I want to increase my conversions, but I want to do it by not having to work all the time. So Go High Level allows me to do things from creating landing pages, having sequence, creating a calendar that people can schedule on, and even sending out blast emails if that's part of what my process is. Number two asset for technology asset, you use this one already, and it's called Meta, also known as Facebook or Instagram. But what's beautiful about Facebook and Instagram, and specifically Meta, is there's multiple ways that I can leverage this tool, both through what's called organic content or paid content. Now, where most people are stuck is they don't have the system to follow the repeatable pattern that creates a predictable result in being able to use what social media like Meta is for. It's for one purpose. Write this down: to generate leads into your business. So now if you figure out the system to follow, both organically and with paid ads, you'll have a never-ending pipeline of leads, and you don't have to figure out all of these different other assets. Meta is by far the second most powerful piece of my business. And then number three, I guarantee you already use this as well, but it's called Zoom. I don't know, have you ever used Zoom before? And are you maximizing it the way it should be? My guess is you've used it, you're probably not maximizing it because once again, the system is a repeatable pattern. But if you don't know the system to get the result that you're after, what happens is you use these assets and they don't actually create any leverage. They don't create any freedom. And what this really costs you is time, energy, and connection with the people that are most important to you, because you get stuck and always having to try to figure it out. So when you look at Zoom, the few ways that I use it really effectively, in the most effective, is I use it for virtual events. See, I can have 1,000 people join me on a virtual event, and I can communicate to all of them over a 3-day event. Like the next one I've got coming up, August 20th through the 22nd. We'll probably have about 250 people on that Zoom meeting alone for 3 days. And what this does is it causes leverage to where I can train people all over North America without them having to fly in and spend the time, effort, energy, and money that they are not quite sure is the right decision for them yet. But during that 3 days, I can dramatically impact them. I can teach them specific lessons on agent attraction, and I get to go sleep in my own bed at night. The other way that I use Zoom is through monthly webinars or Zoom meetups, where this is a smaller version, but I can get 50 or 100 people on these meetings for 60 minutes, and I can teach these concepts that I'm teaching you right now, but in a very interactive setting. And then the other, which is very powerful for my business, with me and both our salespeople when we're doing and selling our agent infopreneur products, or when we're attracting agents into the revenue share, is one-on-one meetings. Whether you're actually still selling houses or you're trying to exit production to have more freedom with your agent infopreneurship, you gotta start using Zoom way more often as a place to have these one-to-one meetings that convert them down your pipeline. So those are my top 3 technology assets, but now I wanna dive into my top 3 human assets. Now remember, technology, it follows a system that creates a predictable result that is a tool or a technology. Human, it's an actual human being. Now the first is a human being that oversees my entire marketing department. Because marketing is about getting my right fit agent into the consistent pattern that I put information out there and moving them into our ecosystem to offer them products and to monetize. So I have to have a really brilliant person that detaches from my mind that oversees the marketing. And he follows a proven system that creates a predictable result in generating those leads. Number 2 is what is a sales system. And I have a sales and revenue leader that he can put all of his attention, all of his energy in mapping out what the sales flow looks like, the scripts, the conversations, optimizing the numbers and the metrics so that we're actually converting more bang for our buck in the marketing dollars that we're spending. We're increasing revenue on the upside, and we're also increasing residual revenue on the revenue side. And then the third was actually what's called a fulfillment and experience person. I call this position the director of experience, and in my company, their entire role is to make sure that our customers, the humans in our network, have an incredible experience and a raving fan relationship with me. Her job is dedicated to maintaining, growing, and managing those relationships so that they have a predictable result of an incredible experience. So let's look at the system outcome that these 3 humans oversee for marketing is all about creating a never-ending pipeline of qualified leads for agents that want to get into the agent infopreneur space. They want to create business freedom. Typically, they're already making at least $200,000 or $300,000, and they're looking for help in that next step. But number 2, our sales and revenue team leader, his job is to take the never endless leads and work our products so that they are no-brainer deals and people want to convert, they want to join, and ultimately the company makes money. This is about monetization. The predictable result is where the money comes into the bank. And then the third is her fulfillment, our director of experience and fulfillment. Her whole job is to make sure that once someone is in our ecosystem, they have a raving fan experience and they want to stay around longer. This increases the lifetime value of the customer. So once again, this is all about scale and leverage. Your first step is to make sure that you are leveraging yourself or exiting yourself out of these positions so that you can make sure that you have more freedom. What this really means to you, you're not going to work all night long. You're not going to have to drive through town, but instead, you're going to spend time with your family. Maybe at the soccer game, just watching your kid play, or maybe it's actually spending more present, deeply connected moments with your spouse or your lover. Ultimately, though, it makes sure that you have consistent, reoccurring revenue in your business, whether you work or not. And if you have these systems in place and these tools, which are technology asset and humans in place, the human assets running these systems, that means you can have some freedom. That means you don't have to be doing a million things all day long. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you subscribe to my channel and make sure that we connect here soon. We'll see you again.